Ladies and gentlemen, happy 4th of July. So, what I'm going to be making is a rabbit. I have, as you can see here, these are my weapons of crafting destruction. I made about 40-ish, 45, actually 50 mil of my Fluid-Tim 1-to-1. I decanted a little bit out into each one of these. I have my bunny mold, I have my eye candy ghost red and ghost blue, and I have my tiny spatula to mix it all together. So, first thing we're going to do is get these little guys and start mixing our colors up, because we are making a patriotic rabbit with ghost colors. Because doesn't that just sound awesome? Yes, yes it does. And now I am mixing the color pretty heavily here. I want it ghosty. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. High-tech mess mitigation device. Wipe off my little spatula. Get my blue. Boink. Alrighty. So I got those colors all done. So let's mix those together. And why a bunny? And why ghost colors? Well, why the heck not? Everybody's doing, you know, I see projects for 4th of July and Independence Day or whatever you want to call it, that people do flags and, you know, icon, you know, type fireworks and things like that. And I was like, you know what, I want to do something different. I'm going to do an iridescent rabbit, because why the heck not? Iridescent rabbits are cool. Now this mold as well is a matte mold, so it by definition will not be shiny. But I think that will look really cool with the ghost colors in there. Give it that really neat effect. So now that we've got these done, red, blue, rabbit, I'm going to go ahead and spray him with a little bit of alcohol, just so we make sure that we can get as few bubbles as possible. And then I'm just going to pour in some bunny ears, give those a squish. And I'm going to go ahead and first off pour a little bit of the red in, just around the bunny. And put in some clear. A little bit of a cleanup around the edges. Alright, good deal. So we're going to go ahead and good morning, everyone. Well, actually, it's afternoon. Afternoon on the 4th of July. I haven't been feeling very good today, as you might be able to hear. My voice is a little bit off, but we do what we do, and we work through it. So there was a couple of things that I had planned for this, for our bunny. One of them was to go over him since he's a matte bunny. One of the things that I was going to do was go over him with a pattern in UV resin to make just those pieces of the pattern come through better, to be shiny. But then I wake up from a nap and I see that Resin Yoda has posted something very similar to that, and I don't want to be tagged with, oh, you're just trying to, get away with doing something that he did. So meow, 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 meow. So I'm gonna have to pivot on that one. This is a skull. I made this cabochon with the leftover resin from the bunny, and I just put it in my little 30 by 40 millimeter cabochon mold and put one of my little silicone skull inlays in it and just let it cure, And now what I'm doing is I'm taking my Intense Chameleon powder, which you can see over here in black cherry, and I'm just going to dust the skull itself. Because it is already completely cured, it's going to be kind of hard to get regular mica powder or anything like that to stick to it. You could say, oh, we'll use chameleon flakes. Well, I would, but I don't have any. They're expensive, and I can't afford them. So they are on my Amazon wish list for when and I use my wish list too. I buy myself things off my wish list if I can afford it. So they're on there. So one day I'll get chameleon flakes. So just trying to fill him up, and I'm trying to keep it being the operative word there. Trying to keep it off the outside of the cabochon, but how often does that happen? Rarely. Rarely. So I'm just going to go around. Alright, so now you can see the skull better. There you go. So, whoops. I'm going to take my UV resin. Ta-da, UV resin. And give this guy a coat. I am not filling it all the way up because I am afraid that it's not going to cure all the way. So I'm doing it halfway, going back, doing another half. That way I can just try to keep as many bubbles as possible out. Come on, Tiny Torch. There we go. And yeah, Tiny Torch is on his last legs. Unfortunately, he has served me very well for the past year, but he's just. I'm gonna have to replace Tiny Torch soon, and it's gonna be a thing for me. We'll hold services. So anyway, I'm gonna put this under my UV lamp for a couple of minutes on both sides. So as I always do, I will edit out the blue lights. Okay, so now that I have that done, didn't cure it all the way, so what I'm doing is I'm just going over the sticky UV with the leftover chameleon powder that was on my brush, just to give it a little more color, a little more dimension, a little more pizzazz. And then I will fill it up. And you can really see that color coming to life. Whoop, as I throw things. That's right. All right, one more cure. Again, just with what's left on my brush. Nothing, I'm not adding any more, just basically cleaning off my brush on the back of the cabochon. And then going with a thin layer of UV, just to bring everything up to level. There's my little spatula. And then another more, just basically cleaning off my brush on the back of the cabochon. And then going with a thin layer of UV, just to bring everything up to level. There's my little spatula. And then another. Alright, so that guy is done. So let's see what we got. And I, of course, am going to have to trim around the edges and whatnot, but that is very cool and very spooky looking. And it does have some micro bubbles, just, and that's, you know, because it was leftover resin. I wasn't really paying much attention to debubbling it or anything like that. So I actually like it. It makes it look spookier in my mind, you know, with that milky sort of background. And then you're able to see the skull in the middle of it. So yeah, I really dig that. And I have some more bezels coming from BB Craft. God bless those people. That will fit this cabochon, and they're black. The bezels are, so I'm looking forward to getting those, and then we'll be able to make very cool pendants. So there's that guy. Now, as I was saying, with what I was going to do with the bunny originally, So let's see what he looks like coming out of the mold, and then we'll be able to go from there. Right? Right. So our little bunny buddy, which was with red and blue ghost pigments, which some of it did fall. There we go. Let me turn that light off and see if we can get a little bit better. He looks really cool just by himself, you know. It's just a misty looking matte rabbit, which admittedly is very difficult to see in this lighting, and I apologize about that, but again. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in to his eyes and do a dot, and also into his ears, and just do a little bit. With the UV resin. And then I'm going to, do the same thing on the other side with his other eye. Just a drop in his eye, and then just basically a drop in his ear, just to give them a little. Okay. So again, it's hard to see, and I'm sorry. I'm working on the lighting thing. I just got to find an affordable lamp that works well. But, alright. So, there's our bunny. There's our skull. I will take pictures, I will post them, and hopefully you will like them. So, at any rate, thank you guys for being here. I really do appreciate it. I know things are sort of off the rails right now, but doing the best we can, right? Right. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for being here. Again, I really do appreciate all of your love and support, and I look forward to seeing you again on the next one. So, take care. Cheers.